Orange. The orange is the most consumed citrus fruit in the world. But it's not actually a natural species. It's a hybrid, created from a cross between pomelo and mandarin, likely in Southeast Asia thousands of years ago. There are two major categories: sweet oranges, which is what you eat fresh or juice, and bitter oranges, mostly used for marmalade and essential oils. Navel oranges, the ones with that little belly button on the bottom, are actually a mutation. That extra bump is technically a second, undeveloped fruit growing inside the first one. Best used for fresh eating, juicing, marmalade, zesting for baking. Lemons are believed to be a hybrid between bitter orange and citron, first cultivated in Southeast Asia and spread through the Middle East before reaching Europe. They're almost never eaten on their own because of extremely high acidity, but that acidity is exactly why they're one of the most useful ingredients in cooking. It brightens flavors, balances richness, and acts as a natural preservative. Lemon zest, the outer yellow peel, contains aromatic oils that are far more concentrated in flavor than the juice itself. Best used for baking, dressings, marinades, seafood, cocktails, cleaning. Yes, really. Limes are smaller, greener, and more acidic than lemon, and they come from a different genetic lineage entirely. There are two main types. Persian limes, also called Tahitian limes, are the large seedless ones you find in most grocery stores. Key limes are smaller, more aromatic, more acidic, and famously used in key lime pie. Limes are a staple in Southeast Asian, Mexican, and Caribbean cooking, far more central to those cuisines than lemons are. Best used for Mexican and Thai cooking, cocktails, ceviche, guacamole, marinades. Grapefruit is a relatively new citrus fruit. It was discovered in Barbados in the 1700s as an accidental hybrid between pomelo and sweet orange. It gets its name because the fruits grow in clusters on the tree, resembling bunches of grapes. There are several varieties ranging from white flesh to deep ruby red. The redder the flesh, the sweeter and less bitter the fruit typically is, due to higher lycopene content. Important note, grapefruit interacts with certain medications, including some blood pressure and cholesterol drugs, by affecting how the liver processes them. Best used for fresh eating, juicing, salads, broiling with sugar as a dessert. Mandarins are one of the three original ancestral citrus species, along with pomelo and citron, meaning almost every other citrus fruit traces back to it in some way. They're smaller, sweeter, and easier to peel than oranges, with a looser skin that separates easily from the flesh. Clementines, tangerines, and satsumas are all technically types of mandarin, each with slightly different sweetness, seed count, and peel texture. Best used for fresh eating, lunchbox snacks, holiday gifting, fruit salads. Pomelo is the largest citrus fruit in the world. Some grow larger than a basketball. It's one of the original ancestral citrus species, and it's actually the parent fruit behind grapefruit and many orange varieties. The flesh is less juicy than an orange, but has a milder, slightly sweet flavor, with much less bitterness than grapefruit. The thick pith and skin have to be removed by hand before eating. Popular throughout Southeast Asian and Chinese cuisine, especially during festivals. Best used for fresh eating, salads, Southeast Asian dishes, symbolic gifting during holidays. Kumquats flip the entire citrus rulebook. They're the only citrus fruit where you eat the peel and discard, or eat around the sour flesh. The skin is sweet and edible, while the inner flesh is intensely sour. So the eating experience is a strange sweet then sour combination in a single bite. They're tiny, about the size of a large olive, and native to China, though the name actually comes from Cantonese, meaning golden orange. Best used for fresh eating whole, candying, marmalade, cocktail garnishes. Yuzu is a Japanese and East Asian citrus fruit that's become a favorite among chefs worldwide for its incredibly complex aroma, often described as a cross between a mandarin, lemon, and grapefruit. It's rarely eaten fresh because of its extreme sourness and abundant seeds. Instead, its juice and zest are used to flavor dishes, sauces, and drinks. Yuzu is a key ingredient in ponzu sauce and ports up frequently in high-end restaurant desserts and cocktails due to its unique fragrance. Best used for ponzu sauce, desserts, cocktails, seasoning fish dishes. Blood oranges get their deep red flesh from anthocyanins, the same pigment compounds found in blueberries and red cabbage, which is unusual for citrus fruits. This pigment only develops properly when the fruit experiences cool nights during growing season, which is why Sicily, with its dramatic day-night temperature swings, produces some of the most famous blood oranges in the world. The flavor is sweeter and slightly more complex than a regular orange, with subtle berry-like notes. Best used for fresh eating, salads, cocktails, dramatic-looking desserts,